What up guy, Hosey here, making this video for 1.5. I'm gonna talk about what I think is the best build to go for right now. I say it with an S because there is actually two variant of a build that I kind of want to talk about. And also there's some tips and tricks regarding which skills you want to play in this patch compared to previous one, because it changed a lot since 1.4. Which I haven't played. I just came back for this one. That's why it took a while before I made this one. But there you go. I'm ready for it. So first of all, I'm just gonna start with the gear. I'm gonna go with I'll recommend going for Alpha Bridge just because it's the one that gives the most DPS bonus because of the weapon perks. Don't look at the yellow yet, because that's the two variant I want to talk about, which one is going to be the Barrett chest, with the Barrett chest, the other one is without, which I am running right now. But let's just start with the weapon. My favorite one so far, some people say LVOAC is the strongest, some others say other guns are, but I think the lightweight M4 is the strongest. It's really accurate for a gun with no stability since you're running the FAMAS. Actually, I'm just gonna start with the FAMAS because it's gonna be your buffing gun. Basically, you want to keep the uncomplicated. Find one with already a good perk roll on it. For me, it was Deadly, which is decent. Gives a little bit of damage extra. Then I roll it Responsive because Responsive is 10% damage when 10 meter close to the target or less, which is actually insane when you think about it. Just a 15% down there is crazy in terms of added damage. I completed it with Vicious. Brutal is not a most, and actually it's not the best. If you want the best thing, you should go with Unforgiving, because in this patch you can't regenerate your health as quickly as previous patch, and you'll always or almost be missing some segment while you're gunfighting somebody. So if you want to make sure you're the one dropping the other, go for Unforgiving. Fierce for the extra crit chance. I play with Vicious because I play a lot of solo, and if you want to reach the cap, which is 60% crit chance, if I don't think they changed it, it's 60. You'll need this, you'll need Fierce, you'll need Savage still. Performance mod with Pulse critical chance on it. I got 4 on every slot, and basically with the pulse, my pulse is at, look the basic one, because I'm going to show you why. Critical chance 23.7, you additionate my 7 from Savage, we're at 30.7, and then you get the character critical chance 29.5 plus the 30.7, we're at 60.2, which is exactly what we want, to 60. So basically by yourself without using a pulse, if you use this talent right here, the precision, you get the normal pulse benefit, and basically you can reach the 60% critical chance just by running this thing. To show you that it is really working. It's been working since the beginning, actually. Here is without it. Here's with after a headshot. The damage are higher, and there's way more orange hit. You can see this was barely like 50%, I think, but they can be like hit 60. It's just random. If I keep firing, you'll see better. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the perks you want. The more damage, the better it is. This is a really high roll lightweight M4, so if you want to compare yours, just put similar firearm than I have right now, and you can compare it to see if yours is pretty high. For the attachment, I'll just need to go lower. Basically no precision or stability, so magazine size, crit hit damage, rate of fire. I used to run crit hit chance to try to burst damage, but since I have max crit chance, it doesn't really worth it. Just go max size. Crit chance on the scope, crit damage, headshot. All those attachments are pretty high roll because I compared them with a lot of others that I've dropped. So if you want to keep those as reference, you should use those as reference. Headshot, crit chance, crit damage again, reduced threat, which is a good bonus. Sometimes you get increased threat. It's no big deal, to be honest. Crit damage on the grip, reload speed, optimal range. I don't think you can get anything else but reload speed and optimal range than accuracy and stability when you have crit damage. So basically this is the attachment you want to make sure your FAMAS perk is really working at is 100%. I'll go with the pistol real quick. I used to not really care about it, but this one is pretty good. Just look at the RPM, 1,100, sorry. And you get if you reroll armful, which I did, basically 15% chance to apply the bleed status effect on target each hit. Look how fast it shoots. Didn't even bleed this time. Now he's bleeding. This one's bleeding. This one isn't bleeding so far. But anyway, it's a 10%. And it proc really often usually. And basically if you want to swap to make sure your target doesn't run while your clip is empty, then this is the best pistol. FAMAS perk, keep glitching. There you go, it's up. So it's basically 55k damage, 56 for me, just the 15%, which is a lot. So it's definitely a most to go with assault just because of that perk. I believe they will nerf it eventually. They'll probably make you having to use stability and accuracy to reach that bonus, which would make more sense because you will lose some crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage. It would be way more balanced than it is right now, because right now it just makes the assault a tier over everything. Now with the gear, basically as eye roll as possible. Try to get 1240 on everything at least. The armor, this is a good amount of armor that you want. 3.2k armor is the reference you want to go for. It can be a little higher or a little lower. As long as you're in this range, you'll have like a top tier build. Ammo capacity, that's why the reroll this chest was already pretty good, and I went for ammo capacity because I didn't really care about few extra stats. The mods are the one the seller is currently selling. If you want to see where it is, you have like 30 something hours to go for it, so hopefully you see his video before he move. It's right here. This one right here. This checkpoint, is it? Yeah, it is. This one right here is selling 261 stamina, 271 armor. On the mask, this is the last piece I got. It took me forever, dude. This mask has a shit ton of armor, which is ridiculous compared to the other one I have, but the thing I was looking for is the enemy armor damage, which now can't in PvP. So basically, at the tier, if I believe so. So basically, to get skill power, enemy armor damage, and be able to roll such high firearm, I got really lucky, and I finally got it after like 2.5 days hunting, just specifically for this one. Sorry if I don't pronounce the word correctly. I am French. So yeah, that's it about this mask. I'm using stamina mod because they're my highest roll. I crafted so many before, and nothing really is better than the one the seller is selling right now. So that's why I went all stamina, and I equipped firearm gloves. So if you get armor damage on mask, armor damage on knee pads, which I re-rolled, I got lucky again on this roll. Lucky is, I don't know, it's not really lucky because I dropped at least 12 of those. Just time and effort and grinding, and eventually luck's gonna give you what you want. So 12% armor damage is the max. 9 on the mask is the max. Sorry. This is again a really high stamina roll. A really high armor roll, but it can be higher. Like I believe 100 higher, but this would be like a god roll, and it's already pretty close to a god roll. It can be 9 on the mask, and I forgot to say something about it. Oh yeah, I don't use CritChance on mask just because I can reach max crit chance just with the pulse headshot talent, which I think is pretty good unless your opponent are running counter pulse, which they probably will if they're running the pulse, because there's no point of running the other pulse for 5% extra critical damage. The counter pulse is the best. You always need one in a team. The backpack specialized. There's some people that don't think it's really worth it to run this backpack. It is. Like, just look at the amount of skill power I lose. I lose 25k if I remove this backpack. It's ridiculous. And the backpack can be 100 armor, at least higher than what I have, so this is definitely an upgrade I might go for. But look at this one as reference. It's pretty high roll on everything. Got ammo capacity. So yeah, I really like this backpack, and that's probably the one piece you might drop if you want to go Barrett bulletproof vest. This one is really shitty, that's why I don't include it in my build. But if you do so, you still get 10% skill power, which is like 10k skill, so you still at 110k, which isn't too bad. When you activate a skill, you get some bonus damage, which is pretty good, considering that usually before battle you pop a skill, but not the second one until you get damage, which is the healing. Then when you have 2 skill on cooldown and can't heal yourself, beside with medkit, you be 10% increase armor, which is basically 10% damage reduction. Because I'm at 50. What is my armor? I'm at 55, I think, or really close to it. Survivability 54.92. A 10% increase of the 13,000 put me at like 61 or something, and like a 6% increase armor among the 45 possible that left is even more than 10% damage reduction. It's probably about 13-14%. So it's really good. Really good. This talent is probably the best on Barrett vest. Some people like the extra damage. I prefer the resistance over the damage. The resistance is insanely high that this chest gives. The extra armor, sorry. Those gloves is probably my weakest piece because the firearm is quite low, but the armor is ridiculously high. I think it can reach like 1010, something around it. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked the chart yet. I used to run those. Those are pretty decent, and they have way more stamina than the others that have firearm. It's just that make me lose a lot of DPS, but it's not too bad actually. I could run those. Sometimes I run those. I prefer still going for this. Make sure I get the burst damage to kill the one I'm shooting at before he heals. He uses heals. Again, you want assault damage, crit chance, and holster. If you get 1200 on at least vitality and firearm, electronic is no big deal. It doesn't reduce the cooldown as much as it used to be, so you can pretty much give up on electronic 100% now. It's not really worth it unless you go electronic build to do damage with your skills. Armor again. This one, I don't think it's really high roll. It's decent. I haven't seen much higher than this, but it probably can reach 1700 armor. So yeah, this is, if you want to use this as a reference, this is probably top tier build right now, just because everything is high roll. Everything can get higher roll a little bit, but is pretty high right now. So make sure you buy the mods if you don't have them before it reset right here. And there's a FAMAS with enemy armor damage. Somebody told me about this one. I haven't noticed this one by myself. Usually I just go around DZ when there's a reset. But now that everything sells something good, you basically can go on every safe room when it reset on Friday. So this one sells a decent FAMAS with enemy armor damage on it. That's pretty much all about the gear. I'll just go with skills and talent. I'm using the shock turret right now. Sometimes I use the counter pulse if some friends are running it. But shock turret is ridiculously powerful because... Can I throw it? I can't use it here. Oh yeah, I can. Because it's one of the only skills that has the time to almost fully recharge before it expires. So you can basically have constant turret on ground while you're fighting. Look, it's already at like a quarter while it's at half, and some people still use triage, so you can get to 100 before it expires. Just gonna blow it up. Healing, of course. Healing is just way too good, especially if you play vicious. You want your 2 health segment to be up so you can do more damage. I use recovery link in solo because it's basically a second chance. You have 2 health because it automatically pop. Tactical link is nasty just because how much damage bonus it gives, and the fact that people can't really heal as much as they used to. So it's basically, you pop this with your squad, everybody dies unless they pop it and kill somebody, or I don't know, because this shit is nasty good. Survivor link is still useful. I'm not playing it. I only put it on when we pop attack link right here, and there's a lot of turrets around. We use 1 survivor link to make sure we kill everybody and not get at fire and lose our tactical link because we can't fire at people. So that's basically the only use I find for it, and maybe PvE to transport, like carry the fuse when you play incursion, but that's pretty much it. The talent, critical save is still one of my favorite talent. I always wait for low health to use your med kit, so you get the 40% resistance for 10 seconds, which is insanely good. Triage is sometimes useful when you don't run the shock turret, because fear tactic is ridiculous. When fear tactic proc, everybody that didn't get shocked by the turret get shocked twice as long. This is something, I don't know if it's intended. It's been like it since the beginning, and they might want to fix this because the shock effect lasts like way too long. It makes no sense. You can kill somebody with like 150k DPS shooting in his head from start to finish of the shock duration because it lasts way too long. So yeah, they might want to take a look at this. Precision, I already explained it. Combat medic, this is actually, I think, the best perk in the game since the start, and right now it's even more the best perk because people can't heal as much, and in dispatch you really do rely on your group because you need their healing, you need their support. You can't handle 12 player by yourself. It's not like it used to be. So you always want your whole group to be running this, because when they can't heal and you don't have your healing or you're not close, the only thing you need to do is tap medkit, and basically you just save your friends, and they gonna do it for you. Like, I always, when my friends are low, even if I don't need medkit, I use it to heal them, because if they die, you're more likely to be the next one to die. So this is the combat medic is a most. This is the best talent in the game, and I don't think it will change soon, because the way they changed the healing thing, this is the best talent. Fear tactic is quite OP since it's quite, I'd call it glitch, because I don't think it says it's supposed to shock twice as long people that didn't get shocked by the shock turret, which is ridiculous. It should be like it on NPC, but not on player. Precision is crazy. If they play counter pulse, it's no big deal, because if you have the normal pulse and you pulse and they use counter pulse, you basically have to wait like almost a whole minute to call your pulse again. In this, as soon as his pulse is over, his counter pulse, you just shoot him in the head and he's already pulsed. So basically you can get him in his downtime with precision. That's why I think it's one of the best talent too right now, just not as good as combat medic. Nothing can beat it. We don't have to take a look at this. I think that's basically what I wanted to say. There's nothing else really important to say. Damage. You want to pump your damage. If you can get a good balance, toughness, and DPS, go for it. I like having a little more toughness. Usually I get even more, but the more you have to remember, the more skill power or the more healing you'll need to regenerate your health. That's why I dropped the healing gloves and I went for damage. There's somebody in my fucking party that make annoying noise right now, so apologize for. So yeah, basically you want to be 400 toughness is decent. You want to be around 400 with like 350k DPS is decent. especially if you don't have brutal, because brutal boosts my DPS. It should be a little lower if I had unforgiving, like 385. It would be pretty good with unforgiving. But yeah, this is what you want to aim for. No big deal rushing everything that I have. I farm it a lot, and I had like a lot of DZ funds to buy caches when the game like this batch came out. So basically, it might take you like a week or two to reach this type of gear if you start now, and you play like a couple hours a day, like 2 or 3. But make sure you play. I think DZ is the fastest way to get loot. Just need to not extract everything like everyone does. Like, I hate play with group that goes to extract every time they get 9 random item. You need to be picky. Just pick what you think you need and just kill boss. Go around open chest. Just always run and kill bosses. This is the fastest way to gear up. So anyway, that's the only thing I wanted to say and I had to say. So hopefully you found this helpful. I'll try to make... I took like a big break of Division. That's why I stopped playing. I stopped uploading. I didn't upload any 1.4 or anything. I don't even know if I uploaded 1.3. 1.3 was shotgun, I think I did. But beside it, like, I stopped playing not long after because I played a lot, and when I play too much of a game, I find it boring after a bit. But now it's pretty fun. I like the survival. Already did like the achievement of extracting a couple item and shit. It's really fun. Especially like when you play solo, it's way easier I find because you don't have to share, or when you have a good group that know how to split and know where the stuff is at. But yeah, this is a pretty good expansion, and I'm really looking forward to what they're gonna do next. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.